It's not really true, is it, that we left behind deference? Aspects of that certainly withered away as British society modernized from the 50s and the 60s onwards, but new forms of deference have kind of taken their place in recent decades.
You're right. I think there are two forms of deference that are very powerful. The first form of deference is what I call technocratic deference, where you have deference to the expert, deference to the public health official, deference to the mentor, the therapist. So these forms of deference are really quite important because apparently they know better than you do what's in your best interest. And they basically say we have science and research and evidence on which we base that expertise. And that's really very powerful. And then there is what I would call moral expertise. And the moral expertise is, as you're suggesting, very much linked to some of the developments in terms of the cultural politics of identity. And it relates to things like victimhood, that somehow if you're a victim or you kind of can put a plausible case for being a victim, then your voice counts for much more than if you're not. And we have a situation very often where somebody who can basically claim that they know what it's like to experience racism, they know what it's like to experience sexism, they know what it's like to be, experience transphobia, are given this moral authority for that. And very often you'll find that you have all these people sitting around, and you have a transgender, teenager giving them a lecture about, what it means to be transgender and how they should learn and re-educate themselves. And to me, the clearest motto, the clearest sentence that they use that kind of expresses this kind of expectation of deference is when some feminist or some transgender activist tells you, you need to re-educate yourself, or you need to educate yourself. And what they are really saying when they communicate that is, I know what's right and what is wrong. And in order for you to be a good person, you have to accept my version of events. Because when they say educate yourself, they don't mean go to a library and read books. What they mean is you should basically absorb and kind of reframe my way of looking at things.